Hi, it's Grant here and welcome back to the Ultimate FB Leads How-To Plan Training. So in this part of the video, I'm going to walk you through how to create your Facebook ad campaign from start to finish. Now we're going to be creating your campaign in the Ads Manager. The Power Editor doesn't exist anymore. So basically what Facebook have done is they've combined the Power Editor and the Ads Manager into one interface. So this is where you create all of your ad campaigns now and just in one interface. So basically, with that said, let's get on and create your Facebook ad campaign. So what you need to do is go into your Ads Manager, go to your console, and just click this green Create button. First thing you need to do is name your campaign something. Just name it something relevant to your campaign so it's easily identifiable. I'm just going to call it Test just for this purpose. Now, what you want to do for buying type is just leave it as auction. And the campaign objective, we want to select a conversions campaign. So basically what we want to do is just go to conversions and select conversions. And basically, seeing we're going to be going after leads, what we want to do is select conversions because we want to tell Facebook we want to convert the traffic into leads. So what we're doing is we're telling Facebook to go into the audience and find people who are most likely to become a lead. So that's why we're selecting the campaign objective. Leave these all unticked. Now the next thing we need to do is name our ad set. So name this after the audience you're going after. And what you're going to do, you won't be having one ad set. I'm just going to be creating one ad set in this just to show you the process, but you're going to be having maybe a couple of ad sets when you launch a test Facebook ad campaign. So you can test various audiences and creatives, but for this purposes we want to launch one ad set, so just name it after the audience you go after. So if you're going after a page, call it after the page. If you're going after an interest, call it after an interest. I'm calling it test because I'm just walking you through the process. And then name your ad. So basically name the ad something relevant so you can identify it easily when you're looking at all your stats. So I'm just going to be calling it test ad just for this example. So then once we've done that, click Save to Draft, and Facebook will create the skeleton of your actual campaign. So this is the campaign. That's all set up, so we don't need to worry about that now. What we need to do now is we're going to go into the ad set and set your actual ad setup. So make sure that's clicked, click Edit, and now what we're going to do is actually set up your actual ad. So basically, first thing we want to do is select your conversion, custom conversion. What you need to do, there's a video in here that shows you how to create a custom conversion, but once you've selected it, just go here and select a custom conversion from your list. These are all mine. But just click the one that you've created for your campaign and select that there. And basically what the custom conversion will do is it will track the leads that who opt in and sign up for your lead magnet or your training, and it will also allow Facebook to optimize your campaign as well. So that's the first thing we need to do. Now the next thing we need to do is set your budget. Now when setting a budget, so when launching a campaign first time, unless you know your audiences are converting, you're going to have to test a ton of audiences, see which audiences convert and what don't. So what I always advise is set your ad set budget for somewhere between $10 to $15 per day per audience, per ad set that you're running. This just basically you want to set it at this amount. So basically you can test audiences safely without wasting a ton of money. So you can start gathering data and seeing which ads and audiences are actually performing and converting. So now once we've selected the ad budget, what we're going to do now is select your country. So basically I'm going to keep the country as United Kingdom just for this example, but what you need to do is put if you want to choose a different country, just type the country in here, say United States. Select that, and basically that is your country included. You can sort of target lower down, you can sort of browse by city and state, but I'm assuming you want to go for the country reach, so I'm just going to leave this as this, but you can sort of type, locations in here like London. Sorry, let's type that in properly. You can type this in by London, so you can really narrow your location down. You can target by zip code or postcode, so you can get very targeted with your targeting. But for this example, I'm just going to leave it for the country. We're just going to target the United Kingdom for this example. So that's how you choose which country you want to target. Now the next thing you need to do is select your age range. For your age range, basically this will all be based on your research and your customer avatar. So if you've got a specific age range that your ideal customer or client sort of falls into, input that in here. I'm just going to leave it sort of between 20 and 55, just purely as an example. But put your date range in there, or sorry, your age range. Sorry. So once we've done that, we've chosen the age range. Now we want to do your targeting. So basically, by now, hopefully, you would have figured out all of your audience's pages and interests that you want to target. So basically, you start inputting all of the pages and interests in here. I mean, I'm just going to enter some as an example here just to show you. So here's a page I target frequently, Frank Kern. And then basically also you can use all of the different suggestions based on this interest I put in. Facebook suggesting similar pages that my audience will like. I mean, I'm just going to add a couple in. And basically what you want to do is when testing audiences, depending on how large your audience is, I mean, ideally the each audience really wants to be over 100 or 200,000. If you're struggling to reach that number, add in a couple of similar pages just to make that number up, because obviously if your audience is too narrow, your CPM is going to be very high, and it's going to be very high or it's going to be quite expensive to target those audiences, because Facebook thinks that you know exactly who you want to target. So my advice is try and have each ad set in the testing phase between 100 to 500,000 people. And basically what you want to do is just input all of your pages and interests here. And also if you want to target interests, there's all sorts of different interests you can use. I mean, these are all the generic interests. You've got behaviors as well, so you can put different behaviors in. So basically by this stage you should know exactly what pages, interests and behaviors you want to input. So just basically input all of them in here. So that is basically that. So once you've figured out, obviously you've inputted all of your interests that you want to target for this particular ad set. Now we want to sort out your placements. Something else very quickly as well, just leave this, let me just go up there a second. Leave this box unticked because we don't want to expand interest. We want to leave everything as is. So now what we want to do is sort out your placements. Don't use automatic placements. Click edit placements. And basically what I suggest when sort of running a test for the first time, you won't need a lot of these placements. I mean, we're not using Messenger, so we can kill those. We're definitely not using the audience network. I wouldn't generally advise using the audience network unless you're doing app installs or something else that makes sense. Now you can use Instagram for test, for running a test ads, but sometimes I would actually probably advise running Instagram ads in a separate ad set, because the size of the the creative and the amount of copy does slightly vary. So I mean, you can run Instagram ads in the same ad set as the desktop and mobile newsfeed, but if you're running very long ad copy text or you want to run long videos, then you're going to have to separate out Instagram and the newsfeed. So generally, I think when running a test for the first time, just unclick Instagram, and obviously if your ad sets convert really well just using the news feeds. Then start rolling out your ads and your offer to Instagram in its own separate ad set. So basically what I would advise starting off is just use the Facebook feeds, the mobile and the desktop feed. And once you start getting data, once you know which audiences are converting and which ads are converting, and you're actually starting to generate leads and perhaps some sales, then you can expand out to Instagram, because Instagram's got a great sort of big new audience that you can potentially target for your ad. So that is how you set up your news feed. So just moving down here, you don't need to worry about any of this. So leave all of that unticked. Optimization and delivery, optimizing for conversions. Now I'm assuming you've got some kind of funnel, so just optimize. We want to track conversions 1 day after someone clicks. Now the next thing is the bid strategy. Now this is quite interesting. So when launching your campaign in your ad sets for the first time, I would recommend just letting Facebook bid for you. But once your campaign starts optimizing, your ad sets start generating leads, and you're generating leads more consistently, say after 3 to 5 days, what I would advise doing is setting a bid cap, and setting quite an aggressive bid cap as well. I mean, when I run lead campaigns, after the initial optimization phase, I sometimes set the bid up to 85 to 100 pounds. And the reason why is when you set your bid really high, because you're using manual bidding now, is Facebook will basically put your ad higher up the newsfeed. It will also show your ads to the people who are most likely to convert in your audience. And basically you're going to win a lot more of the auction. So aggressive manual bidding is a more advanced strategy, and I would use it after your campaign's been running to 3 to 5 days. Once you've started gathering leads, set a very aggressive bid cap. I mean, you can bid 5x to even 10x your cost to acquire a lead. But I would only set a bid cap after a couple of days. If you're running very high ad budgets right out of the gate, you can set a very aggressive bid cap, when launching your ad campaigns. But when I start out, I would just let Facebook set the bids for us. I just think it's just a bit better. So when launching campaigns, select lowest cost, but then you can set your own bid cap, and a very aggressive bid cap once you start getting data. And once you've done through this, that is our ad set up. So now what we want to do is just go and create our ad. So basically what we want to do is click edit. Oops. So yep, here we go. We're in the ad. Now the first thing you need to do is name the ad. Just name it something memorable. Select your page from the drop down menu here. Now if you're running Instagram ads, you can either use your Facebook page, or you can sync up your if you've got an Instagram account on Instagram, you can sync your page up to your ad here. I mean, generally if I'm running Instagram ads, I'll just use my Facebook page. But anyway, so what we want to do now is choose what kind of, we can either create an ad from scratch, or you can choose an existing post that you can create. Now, when would you use posts and when would you create ads? Now, there's you can create ads straight from scratch from within the ads manager, but using an existing post is good, because if you create an ad or a post in the newsfeed and use that as your ad, basically you can collect a lot of social proof in the terms of likes, clicks and shares, which really helps the relevance score and helps drive down your CPM. So you'll be getting cheaper ads. So it depends really what you want to do. I mean, I'll test both, see what works for you. So you can create an existing post on your page and use that as your ad. And basically you can just find it from the drop down here. But for this purpose, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create an ad from scratch for you, just so you can see the process. You can select all kind of different ads here, but we're just going to run with a single image or video ad. So what we're going to do is, I'm just going to choose an image. This is just going to be random stuff just to show you. So I'm just going to select that. So that's the image. Now what I'm going to do is just type in your URL, and I'm just going to type in the URL of my blog just for an example, but obviously you type the URL in of your actual lead magnet opt-in page. Now you can put a display link to display a link. I'm just going to leave that blank because I don't want to do that. Now what we're going to do, I seem to have gone past the text. Here we go. So sorry. What we're going to do is put our text in here. So basically what you want to do is, by now you've probably created, you know, the text for your ad. So what you want to do is just literally copy and paste it in here. Now I've just put some copy in from a previous ad, just as an example to show you how it's done. So once you put your ads copy text in there, what you want to do is write your headline. And the best tips writing a headline, you should use the same headline on your landing page and use the same headline that you do on your ad. So I'm just going to type a random headline in, how to scale Facebook ads. Just in this example. So basically put your headline in there and put your newsfeed link description in here. And basically you just want to sum up your ad. So basically I'm just going to put to get the training, click here. So basically what you want to do is just tell the people or tell the prospect what they're going to get and what they need to do in order to sign up. You don't have to put a newsfeed link description in there, you can leave that blank, but you can add it if you want to. Now, you can add a call to action button, and just before you think about using a call to action button, I think the best ads are the ads that don't actually look like ads. They're more like posts from our friends that are useful. So I wouldn't actually use a call to action button. I would actually, let's just go up very quickly. Just have no button because I don't want my ad to look like an ad. I want it to look neutral and make it blend in with the newsfeed, because people hate ads. The thing is, people don't come on Facebook to look at ads or buy stuff. So basically our ads are interrupting their enjoyment of the newsfeed, whether that's engaging with their friends' posts or whether they're looking at cat videos or whatever. So just bear that in mind when you're creating your ads. Always try and make it look as natural to Facebook as possible, and don't make it look like an ad. You know, make it look more like an informative post that a friend would write. So I wouldn't add a button, but if you want to test using a button, you can try that. You should always split test, but I would generally I'd leave a button off. But if you want to test a button, you can select the button from the drop down here. So that is pretty much how you create an ad. So by now we've pretty much created the campaign. That's basically taken just under 20 minutes. So what you want to do now is just check over everything. Just make sure everything, you know, sort of makes sense. You haven't made any mistakes, any spelling mistakes. Just check. This is what I do. Just make sure that everything's good. Just check your ads, check your ad sets. Just make sure everything's correct. And basically, when you're happy with everything, you just click the green publish button, and then basically your Facebook ad campaign will go into review. And generally, your Facebook ad campaign should go live within a couple of hours. Sometimes it can take a really long time. It can take, in some extreme cases, up to 24 hours. But usually, the campaign will go live and will start running within 1 to 5 hours. So guys, so that's how you create a Facebook ad campaign in the Ads Manager. Hope you found the training. If you've got any problems, just go to our Facebook group, write a post, ask a question, and we will come to your rescue. So guys, I will look forward to seeing you in the next part of the training.